Okay, well, I'm your last speaker before we go drink the coffee. So I'm going to try to make it interesting for you. But I want to ask you one thing. One thing I want to ask you all if you could do one thing for me. If everyone could just stand up. If you could stand up right where you're at. Can you please stand up? Can you stand up? Stand up, please. Stand up, stand up. Oh, okay, all right, okay. 5 minutes, we have coffee, okay? Just wait for me, okay? Wait for me. All right, very good. All right. Okay, well, my name's John Moseley. I'm with the Port of Houston, and first of all, I want to say thank you to the wonderful commercial attaché, Denise Senyard. I met Denise about 4 years ago when she first came into Houston, and I could tell you that I deal with a lot of different foreign countries in my role at the Port of Houston, and I can tell you I'm most impressed with Turkey, and with Turkey has been very aggressive, very competent, and I want to say congratulations. You have a very hardworking person representing you in Houston. I want to say thank you very much to Denise, and I also want to say a special thank you to Mr. Akinci from the Steel Exporters Association for inviting us to come and spend a little bit of time with you today. So, you know, Houston, my colleagues here from Houston really gave a very good explanation and a very good overview about Houston and Texas. And this morning we had some wonderful stories about success in Houston and in Texas. But, you know, I'll tell you, it's true. The United States is like a coconut. It really is. It is like a coconut. But in that coconut, the meat is Texas. Texas is the meat in that coconut. And the milk, that's Houston. That's Houston. So so we're here to kind of share with you a little bit about what we've going on. And also, I'm also very, very happy to hear that we have some consumer product people here as well. Because yes, while the Port of Houston is the #1 port in the United States for steel, we do a lot of steel. It's a very big part of our business. You know, the consumer products are also very important. We had talked to, Denise and I had spoken about that before we came on the trip. I said, hey, it'd be great if we saw some food manufacturers, garments, clothing, footwear, things like that. Those things are really important. So if you have any questions or if there's anything we could do to help you, please come see us during the coffee break or afterwards, and we can try to answer whatever questions you can have. You know, before I go, my presentation actually is not that important, to be honest with you. It's a port. It's a seaport. Cargo comes, goes, and I'm going to spend some time a little bit, share some slides with you. But I want to tell you that you know, when I'm sitting here listening to this morning and I'm listening to my colleagues and I see all your beautiful faces out there, I say, you know, it sounds very complicated. It sounds really like, wow, that's just really difficult. But you know, hey, whoever said selling something is easy? It's not easy. Doing business is not easy. Doing business down the street is not easy. So, you know, when you think about you want to do an international business and you want to sell somewhere in the world, pick a place that's easy to do business. And if I had a choice to go try to sell in China or sell in South America or sell somewhere else, USA is probably one of the easiest places to do business because there's laws, there's rules, it's clean, you can understand the rules. You have to do some work, you have to do some research. You have to hire experts and academics and different people that can help you in the process. But once you understand, once you have some good people to help you, a good lawyer and a good accountant and a good consultant, then you know, you could conquer it. It's a great market. It's a big market. And when you look at the United States, because it's so big, Texas really, really is a great place for you to come, because when you think about United States, it's a big, big place. So why not be in the best place you can be? Most people, when they think about the U.S., I travel all over the world. Most people think about New York, L.A., Miami, you know, Chicago, because of television, because of the movies, because of things like that. But you know, if we're here for business, we're here for business. So when you think about business, what better place than a place where you have a very pro-business type of location, you have a very good tax environment, you have a very good financial environment, you have very high productivity, and probably most importantly, you're in the central part of the United States, right in the middle where you can go east or west. I mean, I can get on a plane any day of the year and I can be in Istanbul directly. 11 hours, direct flight, Turkish Airlines, boom, that's what I flew on Sunday. And when I leave on Wednesday, I'm going to get on Turkish Airlines, beautiful airline, great service, excellent food, I love food, very good. Got back to Houston, very convenient. So think about Texas as really being the place. I'm not going to spend a lot of time with this stuff, you saw a lot of this, but really location. Location is central because when you think about logistics and you think about supply chain, when you have your product, when you have your goods, when you have your warehouse, when you have your office, you want to be in a place where you can reach your customer very easily. So what better place to be in the middle of the United States where you can go to California, you can go to New York, Florida, Oregon, wherever, you can go anywhere you want very easily. And you can go to Central America, South America, Canada. It's right in the smack center. Like Jeffrey had said earlier, it's like a hub, you know, it's like the hub of the Americas. Now, Texas is a big place. You saw a lot of numbers about the GDP and the economy and the population, but I'll tell you, I'm actually from California. That's my home state, Los Angeles. I'm very proud of it. I'm proud of Kobe Bryant, the Lakers. It's too bad Kobe, he retired. But you know what? I moved to Texas 10 years ago, and it was the best decision I ever made. And I stayed in Texas because when my company was going to move me to Washington, D.C., I said, you know what? I'm going to stay in Texas because this is the best place. Texas is the best place to do business, to get work, to get your customers, to do your work and your business. Texas is the best. It's number 2 in the U.S. by population. California is number 1. Texas is number 2 by population. Almost 26 million people. Houston, 4th largest city. We're about to overtake Chicago. Very fast growing. Chicago's going down, Houston's going up. Great place, city is great location. A lot of people, a lot of growth, big GDP. If you put Texas on the international GDP, bigger than Spain, bigger than Mexico. That's a big, big country, big economy, a lot of money. So it's a great place to be, okay? As far as the port goes, now you want to be in a place where you can bring products, where you can ship products, where you can move cargo. Port of Houston is the number 1 port in the United States. Number 1. Most people, again, the movies, television, everyone thinks New York, LA. No, it's Houston. Houston's actually the number 1 port in the country. And we do a lot of containers, and we do a lot of shipping, a lot of vessels, more than 8,000 vessels every year coming and going, more than 2 million containers every year. Very, very big port, very big infrastructure. We have 8 terminals. We have terminals for containers. We have terminals for non-containers. We have facilities that are private facilities. We have some competitor private facilities that are located in Houston. Great location as well. You have liquid terminals. You have all kinds of infrastructure for the shipping business. We're a very old port. We've been around more than 100 years. I come to Turkey. For me, being an American, I say, wow, 100 years, that's old. Then I come here and say, sorry, I'm 5,000 years old. So it's like a very big difference. But we've been around a very long time, a lot of experience as a port. And I'm very proud to say that today we're one of the world-class ports located in the United States. Big industrial zone. Jeffrey had talked about that. A lot of land, a lot of areas for you to locate your business, to open a warehouse. My entity, I'm a government official. My entity actually is responsible for the foreign trade zone for the whole area. So when it comes time for you to think about a location, if foreign trade zone is important, come see me and I'll be able to help you out with that. We, like I said, we handle both containers and non-containers, whether it's steel or things that do not fit in containers. Very convenient, big infrastructure, lots of facilities. We're constantly investing. We're spending billions of dollars in putting new concrete and laying down new wharves and expanding our facilities, whether it's grain or rice or wheat or steel or anything. Maybe cosmetics, probably no cosmetics. That's probably air cargo. But we do quite a bit of just about everything else we do in and out of the Port of Houston. We have, like I said, we have 8 different terminals. 2 of them are container terminals. We have some terminals that are used for the general cargo and the bulk facilities. When we split it up, this kind of gives you a little idea of the bulk cargo versus the steel. When we talk about steel, there's no other port like us. We're the #1 port when it comes to steel. You can see New Orleans. I love New Orleans. It's a nice place, but there's no comparison in the size and the footprint of the amount of steel that we do in Houston versus any other port in the United States. This year is a little bit of a down year because of the oil and gas, but every 5 years it comes back. Every 5 years it kind of goes down a little bit. It's a cycle. So we're looking forward to the cycle coming back up. Every shipping line you can imagine calls the Port of Houston. Just about every steel company you can imagine from all over the world, whether it's China, Korea, Japan, Germany, Turkey, Brazil. We have these companies located in the Port of Houston as well. And like I said in the beginning of my slide, probably our #1 asset is our location. Being centrally located, you could put it on the railroad, you could take it by the Mississippi River, you could put it on a barge to go up the Mississippi. We had some questions yesterday with a customer here with Teshcon. We were out there with Mr. Teshcon, the chairman of Teshcon. He was asking, hey, what about Mississippi River? I said, no problem. You can go on the barge, go up the Mississippi River, go all the way to Chicago. You could do by railroad, you could do by highway. It's a great location to be. And it's warm too. There's no snow, it's none of that. It's a good place to be. So if you have anything, any questions or anything at all, we're going to have a little time for some Q&A. These gentlemen are the experts when it comes to financing, tax, things like that. We didn't get into a lot of specifics there, but we can answer just about every question. I also wanted to just before I pass this on over to our moderator, to Atakan, I just wanted to say that one thing that we're promoting together with the commercial attaché is developing Houston as a hub, as a Turkish hub. So Turkey in the U.S. So a hub for Turkish goods in Houston. So it's a concept that I'd like to leave with you. Think about it. Maybe bringing together a lot of companies in order to create a foreign trade zone area so that you can bring all your products and from there distribute. We can help you with matchmaking. We've done it before. Denise talked about that earlier this morning. We can do some research. So if a few of you want to come and you want to meet buyers, buyers from the U.S., we can bring them together to help you sell your products. I want to see Turkish products in the U.S. So we're here to help you. We're here to work with you. And I thank you very much for your attention. Have a wonderful day. And the coffee is going to be ready soon. Thank you.